Howdy folks, welcome to the channel Rockin' the Country. I'm Don. I've got a gift request from Liam in Australia. So Liam, shout out to you and thank you for this gift. Mark Chesnutt's It Sure Is Monday. And I like that this is a request on a Friday. And but some folks will see this a year from now when they're, scrambling around YouTube and stuff, and this will come up and maybe it'll be a Monday. And Liam said this: "Hi Don, I am loving the song request you've done from me so far. I have another song for you, It Sure Is Monday by Mark Chesnutt. Here's another little story for you. I had a various country artist CD when I was a kid, and there was a Mark Chesnutt song on it called Going Through the Big D. Years later, I rediscovered him, and I've since listened to a lot of his songs, and he's become one of my favorite country singers. It Sure Is Monday in particular is one of my favorite songs. I bet you had no idea Mark Chesnutt was known in Australia. LOL. Hope you enjoy it. Kind regards, Liam from Australia." Well, Liam, I kind of knew. I didn't know specifically that Mark was popular there, but I have no doubt that because Australians are country music fans, as are Brits. I even did a reaction to a Japanese band doing bluegrass, and so music's worldwide, country's worldwide, and especially in English-speaking countries, you're going to have because U.S. produces the most of it, but Australia, Ireland, the UK, Sweden, Canada, countries everywhere. So anyhow, thank you for this gift. And let's see what Mark says about a Monday. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of like a funny song about having to go back to work and the boss is this way and all that, but maybe not. All right, here we go, guys. Mark Chesnutt. God, looks so young in this picture. A tempo.
The alarm clock tingling, ringing in my head. I woke up dog tired, beat down, half dead. Trying to recover from another wild weekend.
Why was it wild?
Chugging down coffee while I should have been sleeping. Well, it sure is Monday, hitting it now. I gotta get myself through the week somehow. I had a ball Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but it's all over now, and it sure isn't Monday.
Some of you guys may know that when about 3.5 months ago, I took a part-time job at the local wine and liquor store. It's a very big operation. I know wines. I don't know hard liquors any longer. I used to drink Jack Daniels back in the day, and that was my drink. But other than that, not much. But there was a conversation the other day. Two dudes came in, and they were buying whatever, and it was a Sunday. And one guy buys like a pint of something, vodka or whatever, Tito's or something like that. And the other dude, he was sort of deliberating it, and he just buys maybe like a shoot or a small bottle. And his friend is like, "Yeah, what's up, man, with that?" And he's like, "I got work tomorrow, man. I just can't do this anymore." And I'm like, good for you. There comes that age where you either can't do it or you just don't want to do it. You're like, man, it's just too much of a price to pay on a Monday. So this song just reminded me of that because that was only like a week ago that little conversation happened right in front of me.
Oh, I got to the job site at 9:15.
A little bit late, maybe?
And somehow I stayed awake till lunchtime. And then I caught a little nap stretched out in my truck bed. My feet still twitching to the music in my head.
That's a good line.
Well, it sure is Monday, ain't it the truth? I partied too hard and now I'm paying my dues. I had a ball Friday, Saturday, and Sunday,
Little Jacob Harris guitar in there. And the crowd would be having fun with this one.
Well, it sure is Monday, ain't it a sin? I gotta work my way through the week again. I had a ball Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, but it's all over now, and it sure is Monday. Yeah, it's all over now, and it sure is Monday.
We all have memories of this. All have memories of this. Where you just decided, yeah, I'm hanging with the fellas or whomever, and we're just going to have some fun. And I'm just going to have one or two beers, and you wind up just like, screw it, I'll get hammered, I'll deal with it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes. I remember when I was in college, when I was back at Rutgers, once you accumulated 60 credits, you could be a substitute teacher in the Piscataway school system. And Rutgers camp, part of Rutgers campus was in Piscataway, so it was right there. And I went to Piscataway High. And when you substitute taught, there were days where you might not get a phone call because there were other substitute teachers on the list. And they might get a phone call first. There may not be that many teachers out that day, but you never knew if you were going to get work that day, and that was fine. So you might be like, you know what? I might not get a call tomorrow. And I remember there were days where I'd be out till 4 a.m, just partying hard. And my phone would ring at 6 a.m. And this wasn't like cell phones back then. This was when your house phone rang. It was all, wired and all that stuff, not wireless any longer, as it is now. And be like, oh my God. And you had to pick the phone up. Otherwise, it would keep ringing. It would wake your parents up, whatever. And I knew what it meant when it rang at 6 a.m. And I'd be like, oh, can you ask someone else? I've gone busy. I've got this and that. And the thing is, I was a highly requested sub because I predominantly worked in the high school. And it was kind of like a mix of tough, it wasn't a rough area. It was like middle class. So there were rough edges and there were really studious kids, as in any school. And I knew how to keep control of a class without being domineering. I just knew how to do it. So the teachers would request me when they knew they were going to have a day, they were taking the day off or they were sick or whatever. They would call the person responsible for arranging subs and they would say, get Don, because they knew here's the rule for teachers. If a class acted up for a substitute teacher, the teacher got in trouble for that when they came back, even though they weren't there. So they were expected somehow to arrange enough work, enough this, enough that, instruction for the sub. And I didn't need any of that. I knew how to keep control of a class. Firstly, I let them talk. That was a big deal. Nobody's going to do work for us when the sub's there anyway. So anyway, my phone rang all the time. So anytime I partied, I paid the price he's talking about, whether it was Monday or Friday or Wednesday, Tuesday or Thursday. And holy crap, I cannot believe, I'd come in at 4 a.m, just get into bed, and my phone would ring an hour and a half later, and I'd get up and go do it. But I do remember how difficult it was sitting at that desk and looking at the clock, because in a classroom, there's always a clock right there staring you in the face. And you'd be like, please, dear God, 2:30 or 3 o'clock, come faster. It would come, I'd go home. Maybe I would sleep a little bit, maybe I would not. Whatever. Anyway, isn't it funny about songs, how they bring up memories like this? So I know we all have stories, but about the song itself, other than the content and how I related to it, was I love the fiddle in this thing. I love Mark's voice. I thought he was going to say when he took his break at noon, his lunch break, in the back of the pickup truck, and he laid down, but his feet were still tapping to the the music before, the night before, or whatever, I thought it was going to say he fell asleep and didn't wake up and then he got in trouble. I mean, a song can go in any direction, but he made it through the week. And that's the nature of work. Make it through the week, party on the weekend. The thing is, Sundays, you got to dial it back. Most people do. Even when you're younger, you know to dial it back because you got to get up early and you got to be in your game and you don't want to get fired, generally speaking. So, Liam, that was fun. I'm sure you have experiences too. But Mark, even at a young age in this one, I mean, he had a voice. He really did. He had a good, listenable country voice. Repeat drum beat, but they were live drums. They weren't drums in a box, and it kept the tempo going. The bass player was going to work in this one. And you had some lead guitar, like some, kind of like red dirt kind of rock guitar, but it was country stuff. So, all right, I'm going to rate this one. And the number that popped into my head immediately was a Montauk Ed special. It was an 8.9. Classic story, fun up-tempo music, and that's a country song right there. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed that. You can thank Liam in Australia, who's enjoying Mark Chesnutt down under. Have a great day. See you on another video, and keep rocking the country.